We leave at 6:30 in the morning. It's usually foggy on our bike ride to Black Bear Coffee Shop. Here's Nancy in the fog, and here's an overview of the 18-mile route and a profile which shows that the high point of the climb is Blackjack. The next scene we have Nancy arriving at the coffee shop. We usually spend an hour reading the paper and having coffee and a scone. We'll cover this ride going back to Etowah, and the first map shows that we leave on 3rd Avenue, and here we have Nancy heading down 3rd Avenue. The building in the background is the library, and that's Washington Street. We'll make a left-hand turn onto Washington and go down another downhill for about a block and a half to 1st Avenue. So here we have Nancy heading on down Washington. Well, Nancy's approaching the stop sign right by the church. The next map will show you that we make that right-hand turn onto 1st Street dead ends into Whitehead, and you can see in the next map that we'll be making a left onto Whitehead. And here we have Nancy approaching that turn and making her left onto Whitehead, which she'll go on down another hill and make a right turn on Lenox Park. And here we have Nancy approaching Lenox Park and turning onto Lenox Park. It's a nice quiet street with a bend to the left and a nice easy climb up to Hebron. At the top of the hill, stop sign at Hebron, you continue right straight across the street, and you'll then be on Lakeside, which winds around to the left, heads south. And at the bottom of the hill, from this map, you can see there's a stop sign at Willow, and then you can have your choice of either going down around the south side or the north side of the lake. We usually take the north side on the way into town and the south side on the way out of town. So after going around the south side of the lake, we'll actually end up back on North Lakeside, and that will run dead end into Old Canuga. Stop sign there. I need to look close because that's kind of a blind corner. Here we have Nancy just finishing up, and she's making a little jiggle, and she'll make a left back onto North Lakeside, go a short distance, and then she'll be at the stop sign with Old Canuga. You need to take a good look there because it's kind of a blind turn. You want to make sure there's not a car coming. Here we have Nancy coming up to the stop sign, Old Canuga. She'll make the left-hand turn and then go about just over a mile, and now she's heading on the downhill where Old Canuga runs dead end into Canuga, where she'll turn right and go about 500 feet, and here she's making a right-hand turn off of Canuga onto Canuga Lake. She just passed the conference center, and this is a nice downhill. And after this downhill is the steepest upgrade of the day, so you got to make sure you hit your low gear after you come around this curve. And then it'll continue on for not too far and dead end into Evans. And here we have the stop sign coming up for Evans, where Nancy will make her right turn. And from there it's just a little over a mile to Blackjack, which is the top of the climb. Right after the turn, we'll be going by the organic garden and a few beehives that the conference center has as a training project. Once Nancy gets to the top of the hill, we can see on the next map that it's a two-stage downhill. First downhill has a little uprise, after which the second downhill comes. Here's Nancy just going by Blackjack, and she'll be starting down the first downhill, which is a series of S-curves, and you need to keep a lookout for guinea hens, and once in a great while we probably see some deer cross the road, but usually if you're in the middle of the day you don't have to worry about that too much. This road is chip and seal, so as we're going faster you'll probably notice there's more and more vibration in the camera, which I had strapped to my handlebars. Nancy's just about to the flat spot that is in between the two downhills, and then she'll be heading around this curve and into a little uphill. It's pretty short, and after that uphill is fastest downhill, which will put us down into Etowah Valley right next to the apple orchard. On this next map you can see that Evans Road runs straight into Big Willow Road, and that's right at the intersection with Willow Road, which comes in from the right. And it's also the same intersection where you have Beulah Baptist Church on the right. Here we have Nancy just winding around Last Bend, and she's going to be coming out into Etowah Valley, and there'll be on this next map we can see that we're going to continue straight on the road, even though the name changes from Evans to Big Willow right at Beulah Baptist. And here we have Nancy winding around the last few bends, and we always look for the guinea hens, which they're actually out today, and she points to the guinea hens that are over on the right hand side. And after she comes around this bend, she will be going by Beulah Baptist Church. On this next map you can see that we continue on Big Willow down a hill and around a bend to the right, and there we will turn onto River Road. It runs alongside the French Broad. So here we have Nancy going down that last hill. It'll wind around to the right, and then she'll be making her left-hand turn onto River Road. River Road changes name after Etowah School Road. It changes to Pleasant Grove. And here's Nancy coming up to the turn onto River Road, making a left onto River Road, and she'll continue on for just a few miles, winding through Seven Falls development. And here we are going up what used to be called Creamery Hill before Seven Falls, and that's the golf course on the right. And she'll go down a hill, go a short distance, and on the map we can see we turn at Grove Bridge, and Grove Bridge will go straight across. Here she is coming up for the right turn on Grove Bridge. That will dead end into 64, where she will continue across 64 onto King Road. Here she is going up King Road, and at the top is Blantyre Baptist. Here she is at Blantyre Baptist, where she will make a right-hand turn and be on the road that eventually becomes Turnpike. So this thing just winds down and then goes up a hill and down another hill, and where it will run into Brickyard Road. At Brickyard Road you can turn right onto Brickyard and head on back into Etowah and get back to the Angle store if that's where you started, or you can go straight on Turnpike and end up on Holly Springs if you're headed to Horseshoe. Here we have the map that shows the options, and here we have Nancy making a right-hand turn onto Brickyard. Here we have Nancy making the right-hand turn into her subdivision, and it's all downhill from here. And you probably have to notice we usually get back about 10:30 or 11, and as you can see from the blue skies, we're well ahead of those afternoon thunder showers that usually roll in sometimes 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's always nice to get an early start, beat the heat, and beat the thunderstorms too. Well, that's just about it. I hope that you enjoyed having a look at one of our daily rides looks like. Here's Nancy hitting the brakes and making the left-hand turn into the sidewalk and rolling right up to the back door, and that's the end of the ride.